Good evening. Welcome to our show, Ghosts Are Near, where we discuss and explore paranormal phenomena. I am your host, Keith Johnson, the co-founder of N.E.A.R, New England Anomalies Research. And this evening, we have a very unusual guest with us. Some you may have seen, some have not seen him, some may be familiar with him. He is a mystery, but please allow me to introduce the Birdman. He's known by many names, and that is one of them.
Good evening to you.
Yes. May I ask some of the other connotations and names you are known by?
Noctua, which is Latin for night bird or owl, like an owl, raven aspect. Mm-hmm. Basically a boogeyman.
I see.
Obia man.
Mm-hmm. You remind me of another guest we had here some time ago, Octavian Hollow.
Oh, he's a host, is he not?
Yes, he is a horror host. However, you are much darker, shall we say, than Octavian.
I blend
Octavian
with the
is
shadows.
A ghost, yes.
That's the intent, to blend with the shadows, so I'm not too conspicuous.
Yes, exactly. And you have cards here, identification cards. Noctua, one of the
Noctua.
One of the names you are known by.
Yeah, see the back? And what does it say in the print?
It says,
it's encoded.
Carcosin at live.com. Noctua, the Dark Clown.
Yes.
The Dark Clown. So you are obviously a performer.
Mm-hmm. My main forum is WaterFire Providence.
WaterFire Providence, yes. You have been one of the characters at WaterFire for quite a few years. WaterFire Providence.
That's where I'm chiefly known, yes.
Uh-huh.
It's an art installation. The premier art installation currently in Providence. It's been going on for 30 years now. I've been attending for 22 of those years.
22 of those years, wow.
And I'm so used to going in costume, why would I go otherwise?
Mm-hmm.
It'd just be kind of dull if I didn't.
So, are you similar to the gargoyles who are there?
Only in that I'm dressed up. I don't pose and collect tips.
Right.
Yeah, the similarity ends there that I'm in a kind of a grotesque costume.
I see.
But I don't do what they do. I don't perform as they do. I'm very much rogue. I do my own thing there.
Very good.
Which is to move about the site and hug the shadows, and I'm illuminated by the firelight.
Yes, of course. For those who might not be familiar with WaterFire, could you please basically describe that Providence WaterFire?
Oh, indeed. WaterFire was created by Barnaby Evans, a graduate of Rhode Island School of Design, 30 years ago. Interestingly, Barnaby and I came up with the idea for WaterFire concurrently. But certainly he did not borrow or steal my idea. It's just, I thought, how cool would it be to have a series of braziers, fire braziers, positioned down the Providence and Winnesquatucket rivers. And currently there are 88 of them. And they are lit at perhaps once or twice a month at different occasions, whenever there is a WaterFire Providence event.
And it's seasonal, correct?
Yes, in that it's not going on in the winter, except there is a Christmas theme lighting and New Year's Eve.
Yes.
I wish they had more of them, actually. It's like an old Venice atmosphere to the WaterFire Providence.
Yes, and they do have the gondola rides and
oh,
so
yes,
forth.
It is. Those are authentic 14-foot gondolas.
Yes.
La Gondola is the company that sponsors and puts that on. And they have authentic gondoliers, too. They have to know their stuff. Mm-hmm. And they position themselves in the boat and they sing Italian songs and classical, romantic songs. Oh, it's quite a treat to go on a gondola ride. An expensive one, but it's a wonderful experience.
So you're not actually affiliated with some of the performing groups, the organizations there, right? You're kind of
I'm not
solo.
affiliated with anything at WaterFire except that I show up there. No, I'm...
But you're a very familiar character there.
Yes, I am unsanctioned, but that is part of the mystery then, isn't it? Some people assume I work for WaterFire, but I remember a little girl was pointing to me and said, "Mommy, look, let's see him." And the young mother said, "I don't think he's part of the show," which was
What
true.
are you then?
Yes. Well, that's that line from Meet Joe Black.
Yes.
I believe you had a part in Meet Joe Black, did
Yes,
you not?
yes,
A ballroom dancer.
Yes, I was a ballroom dancer.
You worked with Brad Pitt.
Yep, I was an
Anthony
extra in that.
Hopkins, Sir Anthony Hopkins.
If I had a little laser light, I could show where I am in the crowd.
Yes, but there's a scene that takes place in the hospital to see Joe Black is somewhat the angel of death,
Yes.
and he is
Yes.
interested in
It's Death
Lady
Takes a
Doctor.
Holiday redone. Right? Yeah.
Yes, very much so. Modern take, a more up-to-date take on it. And he is falling in love with a human woman. And she's a doctor, works at the hospital, and she's part of that staff at the hospital. So he goes
Filani
to...
played her.
Who did?
Claire Filani. Actually.
Claire Filani, yes. And Joe Black goes to see her, the handsome younger Brad Pitt. And there's a woman with her daughter there. They're Jamaican.
Yes.
And he is there to see the lady doctor. And this elderly lady is being pushed in a wheelchair. She's terminally ill. Her daughter brings her in. And when she sees Joe Black, Brad Pitt, the elderly Jamaican woman says, "Oh, Bia, man, I'm going to die." Says, "No, Mama, he's just a man." Yeah. So...
She recognizes him.
She recognizes him. She's gifted. She recognizes him as the angel of death. So he comes up to her, and he says, "I'm going to die. You're going to take me." And he says, "No, sister." She goes, "Evil." And he says, "No, sister, I no evil." "What you is then?" "I from the other place." "Oh. You come to take us away like a bus?" "No, sister, I on vacation." She looks around the hospital. "Fine place you pick for vacation." And he actually befriends her, and he can't heal her, but he lays his hand on her abdomen, and he takes away her pain for a while. Her awful. He helps her. He takes the pain away temporarily. And then he's with her at the end. He helps usher her through. And I guess I've been called the angel of death. I had the same reaction. I remember my first WaterFire was just magnificent. I never intended to scare people, but I do expect to draw attention, but I didn't know that people would take such a stance when they see me in costume. And my second WaterFire I went to, WaterFire Providence, a lady had to be helped away, a Hispanic lady. She was taken away with her. I guess her son had his arm around her, and she was weeping and saying, "It's the demon! It's the demon!" And I'm like, I didn't mean that. Well,
years ago, I was once mistaken for Alexander Hamilton when I was at a costume party at Rhode Island College.
Well, there you
These
go.
things do
That's
happen.
complimentary.
I remember one comment you received. A woman walked by and looked at you and said, "It's H.P. Lovecraft's Raven."
Oh, the comments we get.
Yes.
I hear Batman a lot.
Yes.
And I think
to correct that, it was actually Edgar Allan Poe who wrote The Raven.
Yes, correct her on that.
But she had the right city, though, Providence.
Yeah. And I think, of course, I hear, it's the devil himself. My favorite appellation applied to my role is when I hear Zorro. I like that. I don't hear it too often, but it's Zorro. I can
Zorro
feel akin
meaning
to
the
that.
fox.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, let's be real. You know who I am.
Yes.
Not everyone at WaterFire does. In fact,
I'd
very
first
few.
like to hear your character's origin.
Yes, at WaterFire Providence, the Birdman has become, the persona is more real than my civilian self. It's, people know me as that there. Mm-hmm. They don't even think that I have some other kind of life or identity. The questions I get, like, can you fly? Are you always here? It has a Phantom of the Opera allure, but you were saying about the origin.
Yes, the origin of Noctua.
Well,
Your character's origin.
yeah, Noctua, the blackbird. Well, I had gone to a party, a Halloween party in Providence, and Barnaby Evans, the creator of WaterFire, was there. We started to talk, and that was the night I met him, and he suggested that I show up in costume. Maybe I could do a character there. And I said, oh, that sounds grand. And I didn't know what type of character to do, except I wanted it to be kind of spooky, kind of dark. I never jump out at people. There's no sport in that. But I wanted it to draw attention, of course. Why else dress in costume? And when I was driving back from the east side of Providence to Cranston, it was Halloween night, and I saw there was somebody, a man, up on the scaffolding of the big blue bug.
Really?
Yeah. They used to have scaffolding up there, and they were doing construction there. They were remodeling. It used to be New England Pest Control, and then it became their icon, their symbol, big blue bug.
Right.
And there was a man dressed like a mummy. He had the tattered bandages around. And the way he moved back and forth on that scaffolding, way up there, there was something so eerie, so unearthly about his aspect. It gave me the chills. And I realized that's what I want to do. I want to make other people feel that. Mm-hmm. That uneasiness, that eerie. I want
kind
other
of
people.
Question reality.
Yes. Well, of course, you know who I am because we are closely related. I am Keith's brother.
Yes.
Yeah.
Carl Johnson. Many of you are familiar with. And that's why I was saying some people are familiar with you.
So this is what I look like underneath this. Mm-hmm. But as I mentioned, this role has become very real. I never lose myself in the character so much that I think I'm something different. It's always a fun thing to do.
Yes, right.
You know?
Exactly.
Yes.
So
The
these
characters.
are other masks that you have
Oh,
worn?
yes.
Yes.
There's a couple I've worn. I have
Some of your accoutrements there.
close, perhaps a dozen now, yeah. This is a leather raven mask. This is a crow mask. Corvids. And I give away feathers to people who approach me.
Yes, I see the feathers there.
I mean, not to everybody who sees me. I'd run out of feathers very quickly. But if children come up to me, and they want to approach, but they're a little nervous.
Yes.
They take a few steps, and sometimes the mom will be saying, go on, Johnny, go on, go see him. And I'll slowly turn and look at them, and then they realize I'm not a statue. I turn. And when they get close, I'll go and shake their hands, you know. And they get a feather, if I have feathers with me that night.
But you actually did come to the rescue of some children recently, didn't you, during WaterFire?
Well, they were running around, and it was still twilight. There was still some sunlight out. And these children, the girl was 7, her younger brother was 5. And I thought they were running precariously close to the water's edge, the river's edge,
Yes.
Providence River.
Yeah.
And if they tripped on a vine or a bush, they would go in. And I'm in no condition to jump in and rescue them like I am. Though I have saved some lives at WaterFire, that is true. Didn't plan on that. But I told the little girl, I said, are you going to be careful? Are you going to stay away from the river's edge? Yes. And I went, pinky swear? Pinky swear. So I won them over. And the little boy, he kept coming up to me, asking questions. And his father was from Ireland, had an Irish accent. And they were telling me how they were going to move back to Ireland. And the little boy told me that. He said, we're moving to Ireland. He said, I won't ever see you again. And this little boy ran up to me. As I looked, he ran up to me and threw his arms around me and hugged me.
Oh,
and
that's very nice.
I had
nice.
tears in my eyes from that. And it was just so touching that I made an impression on this boy. And I told him, I can't do everything I used to do, but you want to see me run, be looking up there. Look at the walkway, the brick walkway. So I went around by the Rhode Island School of Design gazebo, the tile gazebo, and I ran for all I was worth. That's one thing I can still do. You remember Rocky in the training montage?
Yes.
Especially in the first movie?
Oh, yes.
I can still do that. They have 3 ramps on the side I can run up. So I ran by, and when I saw him a few minutes later, I said, you saw me? He said, I didn't know a human could run that fast. Yeah, so I have some very rewarding experiences. There was a girl who had her relationship with her boyfriend had ended. She was despondent. I saw her crying, and I didn't want to ignore that. And she told me what happened. I said, "What's the matter? What's wrong?" She said, "Oh, I'm thinking of just jumping in the river." I said, "You don't mean that." "Oh, I do." She told me her boyfriend had left her, and she was, it was just the time when she was really feeling it. The day that happened, and there was night, and I talked to her, and I said, "Look, no, you're distraught. Give it some time. Just promise me don't do anything. Wait another day, one more day." And I said a few things that got her laughing, actually. I forgot I was costumed, and I was just talking to her. There was a young boy who was running in the street. I pulled him out of the way of a bus. Little girl, I kept her from falling in the river. I didn't get any thank yous for that, except to know I did something good.
Well,
I don't need to be
I think
recognized.
you were meant to be there at that time.
I look too menacing to get thank yous from parents, unless I've given them feathers or enchanted their children.
Well, I know that there's been times where some young ladies will find you quite captivating.
It's been known to happen, yes.
Dark mystique and everything.
No fault of my own. Oh, I've been invited to dance with ladies, and sometimes it's a little aroma of champagne on their breath. But no, I've been asked to dance in the gardens, and as I am. And I remember, more than once, a woman said to me, Could you take off your mask? I want to kiss you." It's Phantom of the Opera allure, I'm sure.
Yes.
And I said, "My lady, I would not want to disappoint you. For all you know, I could be quite ugly." And she said, "No, not with that voice, those eyes. You can't be ugly." I said, "Oh, I can be ugly." Well, I'm limited. It's not as though I can kiss somebody unless I reveal myself, and I wouldn't look too pretty.
No.
I'd be sweaty at that point. But it's an athletic role, not as it used to be, but I can still run up those ramps. And I used to jump off 5-foot-tall piers, and there are abutments, and
rather dangerous, though.
Well,
rather precarious,
yeah.
I would say.
It looks wonderful. What wouldn't look too remarkable otherwise if I was just in street clothes? When I'd look like I was training for something, but when I do this in a costume, it really looks like a superhero. Yes. And there are themes to the Birdman role. One would be Serenity by Godsmack. I don't know if you know that song. You get the mode.
Yes.
Where do we go when we just don't know? And how do we relight the flame when it's gone? Why do we dream when our thoughts mean nothing? And when do we go to control? Like that kind of mode.
Did you have a song that you composed yourself?
Yes, I did.
WaterFire?
Yes, I do. Well, I composed it for WaterFire, and I've sung it to people. Usually, like if there's someone who looks a little sad or maybe lonely. There was a somewhat elderly lady. She was in a wheelchair, and I thought, she was with her family, of course, but she didn't seem to have anyone to talk to, so I came up and sang my ballad to her.
Oh, that's nice. That's
called
very nice.
Dark Evenings. I don't know how much of it I kind of remember, but it was something to sing that under the moonlight, a full moon. Dark evenings fall, descending gentle pall, softly to touch us all. Hearken the night wings call, faint shadows cast by moonlight cannot last. Swiftly the stars turn past, through sky so cold and vast. My lips grown black from kisses that have died there. Should love come back, how will I know why or where? By firelight bright we gather in the night. Luna shines gold and white, arcing in endless flight.
Very good. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Of course, I could do a much better rendition if I'm standing and it's outside,
Yes, yeah.
And right now I'm crunched up.
Yeah, but your reputation kind of precedes you. You are rather well known.
Very well known there.
As the
it's a staple
character. People look for you now.
I get, because I don't get paid for it.
I know some gentlemen recently asked about you at WaterFire.
Gosh, they did.
Yes, yeah. And you said, well, that would be me. And they were very,
Oh, yes.
very amazed. Yeah.
Yeah, we were at a political event in Providence, and they were talking about the Birdman. Oh, yeah, WaterFire. We see. Yeah, I said, oh, the plague doctor guy. Yeah. Oh, he's wonderful. I said, do you know him? I said, I had to be Obi-Wan Kenobi. I said, of course I do. No, of course I know him. He's me. I don't usually reveal myself, though. And you were going to ask if I run into any troubling situations.
Well, yeah, so some of your adventures. What's some of the
It's been adventurous at times.
I know Nathan asked, are you anything like, our friend Nathan asked, are you anything like the Mothman? But
well, might
not
be
really a
distant
harbinger,
cousins,
you know?
I don't know. But I don't bring disaster like some people would say so.
Yeah, tell us some of your nocturnal adventures there.
There's something, there's a supernatural quality to the role, actually, because people so want to believe in the supernatural and the uncanny. And they ask, why are you here? What is your purpose? And that's why I have the cards now, so I don't have to go through a long explanation. But I'm thinking, isn't it obvious? I'm just a man in a costume. I mean, that's not really an explanation. But sometimes I'll say that, sometimes there is no story. Yeah. The fact is, why wait for Halloween? I can just do this. Right. I'm usually working on Halloween.
Yeah, but of course, I mean, sometimes you run into people who take it a little too far.
Oh, yes, I've been.
I know some of the living statues. Sometimes people feel they have the right to just go up and manhandle them and pick them up and see if they're real people or not.
It's called an exaggerated sense of entitlement.
Yes.
You don't just go up and touch a performer. And believe me, performers at WaterFire, professional performers anyway, do not appreciate that. You're taking advantage of their good nature. You're impeding their performance. The Birdman, though, people really think they've got license to touch and push.
I think some people become intimidated and they want to show kind of bravado.
Oh, I get sworn at, vulgarities, things thrown at me. I've had it all, yes.
It happens to performers in parades, unfortunately.
One of my favorite things is when I'm walking back to wherever I'm parked, usually up the College Hill on the east side of Providence, where my car is parked. I'll be walking, I'm still in costume there. And cars will drive by, young people, sometimes they'll slow down and they'll shout out, "Freak!" It's happened a few times. And then they accelerate.
You're talking to me? Who's
yeah,
the freak?
yeah.
You know?
And then they go, they peel out like I'm going to give chase on foot.
Yeah.
It shows my role is effective. But sometimes I'll give a little demonstration too if I get harassed too much. One thing I've retained is my speed. And when you're in a costume,
yes,
it looks, of course, formidable. This costume does.
Yes.
So I will make a stance and go, I'll show what I can do. And some kicks I don't want to execute now. But
because we know that the most sensible thing, if there is security nearby, of course, you defer to security.
Well, there isn't. And if there is, they're not there to protect me. Not everyone at WaterFire likes the costume. Security has not been too fond of me. Of course, the owner of, executive director of WaterFire, I should say, Barnaby Evans knows why I'm there. He knows me. But yeah, I do get harassed. But sometimes giving a little demonstration shows that I can mean business.
Yeah. I think most people are sensible. They're out to have fun. It's a family atmosphere.
Right, and I don't get nutty with it,
But, after hours, you've got some people who have had a few too many. They're inebriated, and they think they're, as Judge Caprio used to say, they think they're 10 feet tall because they've had a few drinks and they could take on the world, and
Oh yeah. Well, I've never become too haphazard with the physicality of it. Yes, I have. I don't have quite as much energy or flexibility anymore.
Yes,
but I've broken my leg at WaterFire. I've tripped.
Yes, I know you have had sustained some injuries there.
Yes, I have. I've always been able to at least hobble away with dignity.
But like the Batman, you can sometimes fade into the shadows and nobody.
Well, that's just it. That's what spooked people, because what I do is when I exit, I'll walk backwards into an alley.
Yes.
Or that's how I'll make my exit. And my entrance, too, I'll come out of one of the alleyways in between buildings. And that does spook people. But again, yes, I want to be noticed, but I don't always want a crowd around me. But I have received so many compliments. Some harassment, yes. And I've become kind of tough about it. I don't fear people who are like shouting out things. In fact, I won't give chase, but I will walk into their midst. I'll walk near to them,
right,
and then I'll just look at them. And when I give them that sidelong look, it's
right.
This is your chance if you really want to make issue of it.
Right.
This is your time.
Yep.
See if you can.
I think if there is a police presence or security's there, the best thing is to defer to them. Obviously.
Oh yes, there
That's the most
should always
sensible.
be a police presence. Just because it's a crowd, you've got upwards of 10,000, sometimes more people there, and you don't want issues, and you don't want somebody could with that kind of a crowd, and you've got a river along. It's potentially dangerous, so it is important to have a police.
Unlike some of the other performers, you don't stand still. You're there one moment, and then you're not.
I did get stopped and interrogated by a police officer once, but he didn't make me unmask. I just explained things to him, But I obviously not out for trouble. But I'm not quite as tolerant as I used to be. But
I always feel better when there is a police presence around.
Well, I get tired.
I know they
too.
can't be everywhere at once.
Yeah. After being there for a few hours, it can be tiring. And
of course it can. Of course.
I don't want to do as many stunts as.
So our last few minutes.
I used to.
What's ahead for the Birdman of WaterFire?
Well, I'll keep appearing at the WaterFire's Providence, and
a change in appearance, or
well, it does. The creature
morphs,
evolves. Actually, I look far more human, odd, but far more human than I used to. Mm-hmm. But it adapts. If I've never been sanctioned as a performer. Perhaps I'd like to be. I don't want to stand out there with a tips jar. It's just not me. I want the freedom of the night. Mm-hmm. But because it's a unique role and not accepted by everybody, it's become this dark creature of the night. Mm-hmm. That's why I'm doing it. That's why I appear when the sun is setting, and I do my own thing. It's my traveling path working, you might say. It's meditative for me. It's enjoyable. Again, I don't have to wait for Halloween to dress up.
How often do you make media appearances?
Media appearances?
Yes, like in local TV, or like you're doing now.
I think this is the first, isn't it?
Yeah.
No. Well, sometimes there'll be someone with a camera, like a home camera, and I don't know where that's going to show up.
I'm sure there's a lot of footage of you out there.
Oh, there are. I don't have too many pictures of me in this dress, but in this aspect. But there are thousands of pictures of the Birdman because they're always stopping me for pictures. What I don't do anymore, what I've ceased doing, is posing for pictures. Yes, if somebody wants to take a picture, I say, can we get a picture with you? I say, you may take a picture.
If it comes out.
Yeah, but I'm, and I'll stand still for it, but I'm not going to pose. And I never pose with people. Well, a child I will sometimes, but adults I don't pose for the pictures. I'm not a Disney character. I'm not compensated for this role. It does take some physical effort. I enjoy it, of course.
Yeah.
But I don't like when, and they say they're going to be. I say make it a dignified picture. Yeah. They don't. You get this, They.
Well, I hope
I was doing this,
I do hope you come back with more stories, more tales of the adventures of the Birdman.
Oh, I've hardly skimmed the surface.
It would be a great comic series too. Yes. It really would.
This is my Raven cane.
Yes, very nice.
Yeah. And again, I'm not so much the artistic director, Barnaby Evans, refers to me as the Raven, but it's avian. I'm a blackbird of sorts. Raven, crow, owl, but it's just that aspect, that suggestion.
Well, thank you for being here. I hope you come back and see us again.
Well, certainly. Help yourself to a feather.
I'll see you at WaterFire, I'm sure.
Oh, you're invited. Next one will be August 9th, Saturday, August 9th. Starts at sunset.